Alright, so we're starting a different game this time. Gloomhaven. Jaws of the Lion. A sinister cabal starts disappearing the less fortunate of the city. It somehow falls to you to get to the bottom of it, so long as you get paid for your trouble. Recruit your new mercenaries with unique gameplay and explore previously hidden side of the city of Gloomhaven through an arching storyline filled with a plethora of new enemies and bosses, featuring 4 unique mercenaries, 25 new scenarios, 10 new enemies and bosses, new road events and battle goals, and 10 new items to acquire. The Jaws of the Lion DLC is packed full with new content. New campaign scenarios unlock directly on Gloomhaven's existing map once the core game's second scenario is completed, and it Guildmaster and campaign. You'll find the 4 new characters automatically available. Guildmaster. New digital-only mode designed for players to master Gloomhaven's rules and mercenaries with over 100 new missions. Play the original board game's campaign and face the horrors beyond the walls of Gloomhaven in a 95 quest campaign plus any unlocked expansions. Yeah, I'm new. Let's see, extras, options. Oh, you can turn on crossplay. Cool. Combat log. Alright, I guess we'll start with the tutorial. The basics. Taking the first steps in the boots of a mercenary is never easy. Start the tutorial to learn the very basics of Gloomhaven's mechanics.
Welcome, Guildmaster. I'm the Guild Trainer, and I'm here to guide you through setting up your own mercenary guild. Let's start with you guiding the Brute through this first tutorial.
The Brute. In Gloomhaven, you control a party of mercenaries, each equipped with a deck of ability cards. These cards are how your mercenaries will explore dungeons, fight enemies, and loot treasure. At the beginning of each round, the first thing to do is to select 2 cards for each mercenary to use on their turn. In this tutorial, the Brute has just 2 cards at his disposal, as you can see highlighted on the left: Grab and Go and Trample. Select Trample. Attack, Pierce. See how the question mark next to the Brute's portrait at the top of the screen has changed into a number. This shows his initiative. What question mark? The number next to the first card you select determines the character's initiative for the round. The lower the number, the earlier in the round the character will act. Okay. Use X to select 2 ability cards for each mercenary to rest. End selection. Now it's the Brute's turn. Time to choose some actions. Each half of the card represents an action and comprise 1 or more abilities. You get to use 2 actions per turn, and you can pick any of the 4 card halves on the left to use as your first action, but note that you must then use the opposite side of the other card for your second. For example, here you can choose either the top half of Trample and the bottom half of Grab and Go, or the bottom half of Trample and the top half of Grab and Go. There's nothing for the Brute to do in this room, so you'll want to proceed through the door to see what lies ahead with Move ability. Grab and Go's bottom half lets the Brute move Now that you finish using grab and go for the turn, it is discarded and is no longer usable until you return it to hand via resting. More on that later. For now, time to attack. Attack in... Okay. Allows a character to attack an enemy within range with a base value of X. A Pierce X attack effect allows up to X points of target's shield bonus to be ignored for the attack. Okay. Whenever you attack, an attack modifier is drawn from your character's modifier deck, and that value is applied to your attack. In this case, you can see above Bandit Guard that is +0 modifier was drawn, so your attack still just deals its base value of 3 damage. For this tutorial, we will only have +0 modifiers in effect to keep things simple. We'll explore the other attack modifiers later. Alright. You know how to get about, that's good. Now it's time to learn the important things like killing and looting your enemies.
Welcome to your first training mission. You've learned the basics, but now you must help the gravely wounded brute deal with a bandit archer elite, a stronger enemy with greater stats than normal. With only a single hit point remaining, any amount of damage getting through will cause the brute to become exhausted. As such, you will have to avoid any incoming damage by burning cards.
Select overwhelming assault. Select grab and go. Move 1, attack 2, range 3. Create a 3 damage trap in an adjacent empty hex closest to an empty enemy. Okay. Burn a card to avoid damage. Burn. Choose to take damage, burn 1 available card, or burn 2 discarded cards. Push X attack effect or ability causes the target to be forced away hexes. The direction is specified by the controller of the ability effect, and each hex moved must put the target 1 hex further away. Targets can be pushed through their allies, but not enemies or obstacles. Oh no, I had to move. Okay. I guess attack.
Overwhelming Assault is a powerful card, but such power comes at a cost. Actions like Overwhelming Assault's top half, with the flaming card icon in the corner, cause the card to be burned once used, meaning you can't use it again in this scenario. Time to grab that gold.
Generally to grab. As you can see, you can use only part of your action and skip the remaining parts if you don't want to use them. With no enemies left and your objectives complete, the scenario normally would have ended already, leaving that chest behind. However, for the sake of training, I'm going to set you another objective, loot the chest.
Before you rush headlong into that trap, you might want to heal up a bit first. I'd suggest taking a long rest, which will let you heal too, and recover enough discarded cards, allowing you to withstand the 2 damage from the trap and reach the chest.
Okay. Long rest. Boots of striding.
Oh, those boots of striding will come in handy next time you need a little extra mobility. Right, on to the next part of your training.
Okay. Combine the skills you've learned to take down the bandit archer. You'll need some extra help to get across those nasty traps.
So, you've learned about the basic attack and move abilities, but this time we're going to use some abilities with additional effects.
Some asshole outside just keeps honking his horn.
A move action with a jump effect will help you here. Jump allows you to cross tiles containing obstacles or enemies, and even move over traps without triggering them, provided you can reach an empty hex to land on. Those boots of striding you picked up last time can be used to increase a move ability by 2 hexes. That'll enable you to get up close and personal this turn. You don't have the damage to take her out in one go, but if you act fast, you could apply the disarm condition to her before she can attack. Your objectives for this first round are: use a jump movement to get across the traps unscathed, disarm the archer before she attacks. Good luck.
Disarm.
archer couldn't attack for the turn.
Okay, so it's like a stun.
She's low on health now, so you should be able to finish her off. Your objectives this turn are: kill the archer, jump over the traps, and loot the chest. I want you to achieve both this round.
The short rest allows you to recover discarded cards to immediately use in this very turn. Long resting, however, takes up the whole turn and is used instead of selecting 2 ability cards, giving the character an initiative of 99. In other words, not going to help you win this round. Okay.
Jump right on the chest. Nicely done. That potion will surely be of use in the missions to come.
Don't get close. It's all about knowing where you stand and finding the best spot in the dungeon.
To be a successful guildmaster, you need to pay close attention to enemy actions and try to plan your moves around them. Just one simple objective for you this time. Don't get attacked. You'll have to start over if an enemy manages to land a hit. You'll need to escape this room by opening the door in front of the brute. But remember that enemies in the next room will also get to act this round. My advice? Act quickly, looking carefully at what actions the enemies are going to take. I've set it up so that you should be able to find a safe place to stand, out of reach from all enemies. Let's see if you can survive.
Leaping cleave. How do I look at what they're doing? Move 1, attack 3, range 3. I think if I stay here.
Excellent. You eluded the enemies in both rooms. prepared for that when opening doors in future scenarios. Just one more round of bandit dodging to complete the mission. You'll find it tricky to locate a safe space this time. Perhaps you could try preventing an attack to survive?
Let's move over here. And attack him.
Excellent stuff.
Cool.
You're well on your way to becoming a professional. And how about that disarm? Pretty powerful condition, eh? That and a nice low initiative percent makes provoking roar a really nifty ability for getting out of nasty scrapes. One more test, and then I think you'll be ready to start exploring the world and recruiting mercenaries to our guild.
That was a lot. Attack modifiers. Get acquainted with attack modifiers, how they work, and how they will affect each and every one of your attacks.
Let's talk about attack modifiers. So far in your training, characters have always drawn a +0 attack modifier, meaning their attacks have always dealt the exact damage value specified on the cards. This is not normally the case. In real scenarios, for each attack, the character will draw an attack modifier which influences the damage dealt. These can increase the damage by +1, +2, or ×2. Decrease by -1, -2, or ×0, or leave the value unaffected, as you've seen with a +0. You can see the contents of a character's modifier deck by hovering over any character. Note that unlike player characters, all monsters share a single attack modifier deck. For this training scenario, these archers have just 2 attack modifiers remaining in their decks, ×2 and ×0. We want them to draw the ×0 to deal no damage, and we're going to give them disadvantage to ensure that. Ranged attacks have disadvantage when their target is on an adjacent hex. This forces the attacker to draw 2 modifier cards instead of just 1, and the worst result is selected. As these archers only have 2 modifiers remaining, if they attack with disadvantage, they will draw both, but be forced to choose the ×0 over the ×2 as the worst result, dealing no damage. You can see when disadvantage will apply from the flashing purple symbol next to the health bar. You can only disadvantage one archer here, so kill the other with a ranged attack. Should be easy, as the Brute's attack modifier deck is full of +1s for this mission. You can thank me later. Your objectives are: stand next to one of the archers to give her disadvantage, kill the other archer with a ranged attack.
Okay. That's range.
times 2 modifiers. Disadvantage forced her to draw 2 attack modifiers and use the worst one. You also saw how your attack with Spare Dagger drew a +1, thus dealing 4 damage total to take down the other archer. Your final objectives are: kill the remaining archer, loot the chest.
Where does it say their modifiers?
Nice. A heater shield should help you soak up some damage. You've finished your basic training missions. Time to introduce you to the other mercs and get you exploring.
Okay. Bruise and struggle against the living bones. Use everything you've got to make sure they stay dead for good. This scenario, Brute has 2 level 1 living bones elites to deal with, which means their stats will be greater than their level 0 counterparts. Monster stats are combined with a base ability card drawn for the monster class turn, resulting in the cards you see when the monster's cards for the round are revealed. So expect them to move a bit further and attack a bit harder, especially as they are elites. Note that how they both have an innate shield 1 effect, indicated by the shield icon. Each point of shield prevents 1 damage from incoming attacks. However, an amount of shield can be ignored if targeted with an attack with Pierce. I have it on good authority that these living bones are going to attack more than once each this turn. You are low on cards and won't be able to afford to burn any cards, so surviving here will require some shielding on your own. By the way, while these enemy shields are an innate persistent effect, normally active bonuses granting abilities such as shield are accompanied by a round or persistent duration icon. Kill living bones using attack with Pierce. Apply some shield of your own. Use your minor healing potion. It should help you survive this round. Okay. Take the damage. Oh. Perhaps you could use the wall push and trap combo. But the shield only prevents damage from attacks, but it doesn't do anything against direct damage such as traps. He's decided that adventuring alone is not working out for him, so he's agreed to be the first mercenary in your guild. Let's go get out of this dusty crypt and see who else we can recruit. Blade of the Night. Scoundrel has 2 daggers and a lot of gold to loot, and she isn't planning on leaving anything behind. The Scoundrel. She's incredibly nimble and mobile, not to mention able to combo off huge amounts of melee damage when things line up just right. Let's help her out with this sticky situation. Kill 3 archers this round before they attack. You'll certainly need something that can hit more than one target at a time. Get over here. Feels good at picking off multiple targets in a single turn, doesn't it? One last objective, loot at least 5 piles of gold this round. A tip for you, sometimes the top half of a card allows you to move to loot abilities, pick up all of the gold within the radius specified by the value, so you work out where you need to stand and get looting. Okay. elements, a lot of bandits. To get her out of this mess, you'll need to harness the power of elements infused in the battlefield. The elemental infusions display can be seen on the right of the screen, indicating which magical elements available for consuming. In this scenario, the ice elements is already infused, but elements are normally infused for 2 rounds through using actions with elemental symbols on them, available for consumption after the turn in which they are infused. Okay, that's confusing. This round you must consume the ice element to augment freezing Nova's attack, killing as many bandits as you can. Survive the round by using jump move to get out of reach. To consume something. obstacle. What? Oh, that's a hit R2. Either way, I'm still kind of fucked. By consuming the ice element, freezing element dealt 3 base damage instead of 2, knocking out 3 bandits plus applying the immobilized condition so the bandits couldn't chase after you is pretty darn powerful. Ride the Wind also infused the air element for you to use later if need be. You may have also noticed with only 3 unburnt cards remaining, the Spellweaver will be exhausted after the next round is over, as you cannot return burned cards via resting. Fortunately, the Spellweaver has a very powerful trick up her sleeve. Many of her powerful cards may burn after usage, but the top half of Reviving Ether allows her to return all of her burn cards to her hand. Getting the timing right on this one-time recovery per scenario of all burn cards is key to using Spellweaver well. It's up to you now. Kill the remaining bandit guards. Reviving Ether will recover all of your burn cards so you can finish these bandits off at your leisure. It's right there. I'm fucking up big time. So, short rest. Draw. So. What the fuck am I doing wrong? There's like nowhere I can go to hide from them. I just don't understand. I'd say this counts as one. Currently, he is wounded and will take 1 damage at the start of his turn, so you ought to heal him as soon as possible with the minor heal potion. Looking at where the enemies in this room are, I'd advise you go as late as possible. This round, sometimes it's better to go slow and let the enemies come to you, so you aren't at risk of being attacked. Then you can use one of the Tinkerer's famous area of effect attacks to deal some serious damage to multiple enemies at once. You can recognize such abilities by their hex-shaped patterns on the ability card, showing you the shape of area it will target. Okay, Ink Bomb. Range 3. Healing can also remove a poison condition, but in this case you will only remove the condition and regain no hit points. You didn't manage to hit 3 enemies. Sometimes it is better to wait for the bad guys to come to you. Try picking Ink Bomb first and then Toxic Bolt. We'll let them walk into range before the Tinkerer's turn. Not sure what I did wrong there. They move 3. I guess I have to go attack them first. So I have to move to them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So that one, and we'll do Ink Bomb. There we go. I see. You have to like manipulate the initiative. So let them come to me first. How did he say to rotate it? Rotate target. There we go. This little guy packs quite the punch out. Let's sign him up and look for some paid jobs for the guild to take him. Heart of Stone. 4 living bones surround the crag heart, and the clock is ticking. Can you defeat them all in time? Meet everyone's favorite walking boulder, the crag heart. You're badly outnumbered here and will need to employ some defensive tactics. Let's go over how to retaliate works and see how we can use that to help old Craggy out of this mess. Like shield, retaliate is an active bonus that can either last the round or be persistent, usually with termination condition for the latter. While active, melee attackers will have damage inflicted upon them equal to the retaliate value after each attack. Surrounded by this many living bones, a retaliation against any the attack equates to an incredible amount of damage, assuming you can survive a round, that is. Oh, and one last thing, note that Earth is infused already. Remember to click the consume icon on the card if you wish to use the element to power up an ability. Took a fair bit of damage, but that was a great result. Well-timed retaliate can be devastatingly powerful. By the way, you can see the active bonus from opposing strike is still, well, active. Just look at Crackhard's portrait at the top of the screen. The little pips in the active bonus box show you at a glance how many instances remain. You can check your fact text XP yield by hovering over it. Did you notice how the Living Bones shield didn't prevent any retaliate damage? Just like traps. Retaliate damage is not explicitly an attack, and as such will deal exactly the amount it says it will, unaffected by shields, modifiers, and the like. Right, finish them bones off, and we can get out of here. Situation at first, but as you saw, if you play your cards right, you can navigate even the trickiest situations. Mind over matter. Why do all the fighting when you can summon someone or something to do it for you? Meet the final member of your starting roster. Mind Thief. What she may lack in physical prowess is made up for in her ability to control the actions of enemies and summon allies to the battlefield. Summons autonomously, act directly before the turn of their summoners, always performing a move X, attack Y action, where X and Y are their respective base stats. As the Mind Thief was out hunting demons, you are about to face a more serious enemy, the Night Demon. These harrowing creatures have an inherent ability to give disadvantage to all attacks, targeting them, making them often tricky Perhaps you can try taking them down with a non-attack source of direct damage. Summon an ally, kill a night demon. Top tip for you, enemies will prioritize your summon if you are at the same range. Use this to your advantage. So that's the tutorial. I'll start the game. Temporary enhancements will affect individual mercenaries and can be removed to regain 75% of the original costs. The costs have also been rebalanced to encourage experimentation. Permanent enhancements will affect all current and future mercenaries of the same class. Enhancements cannot be sold. Okay. Play on normal for now. It's a bit of a throwback here. Lone Wolf Dragoons. Oh, it doesn't fit. Boo. That sucks. I just put LWD. Lone Wolf Dragoons. Yep. Not sure what all that means, so I'll just leave it there. Yeah, enable. 17 is sure.
Welcome to the harsh lands of Gloomhaven, recruit. You think you have what it takes to become a mercenary out there on the edge of the world? We are paid to venture into the darkest forests of the region and to step into ancient crypts with the unmistakable stench of death and rotting flesh. Lovely places to earn a name for yourself. Be ready to face cutthroats, undead, fearsome tribes, and dreadful demons from other realms. You didn't find yourself as a mercenary without knowing how to crack a few skulls, did you?
Before going into the harrowing wilderness surrounding Gloomhaven, you'll need at least 2 mercenaries in your party, brave or greedy enough to seek out the adventures in exchange for gold. On the left, you'll find the party panel. Here you'll see the basic information of mercenaries in your party, at least you will once you add your first mercenary. You'll find all your mercenaries and add them to the party through the roster panel. Right now it's looking as barren as the Copperneck Mountain. Use X to select the new mercenary button and create your first character. Next you'll choose one of the starting character classes. Each one has unique abilities and game style. As you progress you'll level up, earning new ability cards and unlock more classes. But remember, looks aren't everything. Mercs' ability cards are what define their actions in battle. Use triangle to select the starting ability cards button to make sure this is the right mercenary for your party. Once you are sure of your decision, use X to select the mercenary and move forward. Like the Red Guard. Void Warden. This guy's like a healer. charge attack. Interesting, interesting. Decisions, decisions. That guy's a tank. This guy's a healer. Works better in larger parties. Kind of like this guy. Go with him. Name him Van Helsing. What is this? Personal quest is the mercenary's sole reason for adventuring. Once his objective is complete, the merc will retire. Beware, when mercenaries retire, they will no longer be a playable character. Though farewells can often be bitter, sometimes things have to move on to give way to new horizons. Completing personal quests and retiring mercenaries is a primary route to unlocking new character classes. Complete 4 boss scenarios from the base game. Have 200 gold in your position. What's the little icon mean? Does that mean I unlock a character? +1 prosperity. You still remember the day that Shadow passed over your village? Everyone said it was just a cloud, but you knew different, a dragon. The prospect filled you with wonder. You knew that one day you'd leave your village in search of other rare, majestic creatures, and that you'd do them the honor of facing them in battle. That is what true heroes do, after all. I'll do that one. sorted, but you'll need a minimum of 2 mercenaries before you can go out seeking adventure. It's important to build a party of mercs who complement each other in battle. Use L1 to select the second character slot in the party panel and create a new character. Know that you can't have more than 1 merc of the same character class in the party at the same time, so be sure to create a different one. I'm thinking brute. Yeah, we'll go brute. Vargas. I don't know. Experience your party member becoming exhausted 15 times. Own 4 enhancements. Requires access to the enchantress. Body is fascinating, so sure, there are cadavers at the university, but they are so lifeless. The best way to learn is to get dirty and experience the action firsthand. I guess so. Before heading out on your first quest, you should gear up. After all, it is your first time out in the open. You'll notice each mercenary has a modest stash of gold. It's encouraged to take that money over to the merchant shop and spend it on anything that might just keep you from dying. L2, R2, expect town options. Remember, each mercenary has their own stash of gold and personal inventory. So make sure you select the right mercenary's portrait before you purchase an item. Okie doke. He only has 30 gold. Gloomhaven isn't known for its well-mannered folk and good Samaritans, but there's a lot to gain from the city streets. You can now partake in city encounters by using the button below. It's encouraged that you do this whenever you're in the city, as they often give good rewards. If you ever find a quest that looks too hard for one, or one you repeatedly fail to complete, the Temple of the Great Oak can grant you its blessing for a fair price, of course. You can choose to access the temple using this button below. First quest location is marked just north of Gloomhaven. You'll see it flagged with the quest icon. As you progress, more quest locations will appear across the map. To keep track of them, you can use the quest log on the right hand side of the screen. Select the Black Barrows location or use X to select the entry in the quest log. You can embark upon a quest with up to 4 mercenaries, but the more mercs you bring, the more dangerous the quest will be. Once you set out for a quest, you won't be able to change the members of your party until you return to Gloomhaven. slot is displayed in gray, it means the mercenary currently has no items of that type. There we go. He has 30. Go to Gloomhaven. Roadside ambush. Local blacksmith's wife wants information on where he could be. Kill all enemies in all rooms. Alright. Now might be a good time to go through the Merc's ability cards and inventory to make sure they are battle ready. In the quest description, you can see the enemies you'll face. Inspect their stats by pushing L. Level 1. Okay. You're walking along the stalls of the sinking market when a display of exotic fruit catches your eye. The proprietor walks you through a few of the offerings gained. Grain cherries, blood melon, even a hard nut that can be broken open to reveal sweet milk. You start discussing which to purchase with your companions, and the shopkeep's attention turns to other interested patrons. Out of the corner of your eye, you see a young vermling reach up to swipe some red berries from a display basket. Alert the shopkeep. Shopkeep swats the vermling's hand away. Here, take this and get lost, and I don't want to see you around my stall for at least a week. He tosses the vermling a squishy-looking gourd, and she rushes away. The shopkeep thanks you with a bit of coin for your perceptiveness. 5 collective coin. Gold. Sure.
A new day, and while nursing a hell of a hangover, you drag yourselves out of bed to meet a local blacksmith's wife, Sandy, who has managed to somehow scrape enough money together to hire you to find her husband. You're not sure where the money came from, but no matter the source, it couldn't have come easy. Soon afterwards, you prepare to head out of the city to the Still River to investigate. True, Sandy was a little light on the payment, but you are one of the most well-known mercenary groups in this backwater dump of a town. Surely it can't hurt to take a charity case every once in a while. Getting good jobs is about maintaining a reputation after all, which is why you really need to get to the bottom of this and not return to the widow with nothing but the calluses on your feet. Also, you probably shouldn't call her a widow to her face. At least not until the fate of the blacksmith has been confirmed. Given, however, that none of those who disappeared have returned, the outlook is grim. gates, you notice movement up ahead and immediately draw your weapon. The sun has dipped low in the sky, reducing visibility, but you can clearly see some ramshackle wooden barricades blocking the road in front of you. And, sure enough, as you cautiously approach the scene, vermlings jump out from behind the obstructions, flashing crude swords and sharp sticks. You have to admit, you are quite tired from being up rather late in the inn yesterday. But still, these oversized rats certainly picked the wrong group of travelers to ambush today. This is your job after all, and you're always ready to show there's only one outcome for anyone who dares threaten you. Getting attacked by vermlings when all you wanted to do was stay in with a warm meal and a soft bed, well, it makes you mad. Mad enough to kill these mangy creatures before you collapse from exhaustion. Of course, the vermlings have other plans. They gibber about wanting your coin and the meat on your bones. Nasty things, really. Best to ignore their ranting and end this quickly.
Before entering a dungeon, each mercenary must choose one out of 2 battle goals. Battle goal is a secret objective the mercenary tries to complete inside the dungeon. Failing it has no drawback, but successfully completing it and the scenario or in character, the reward shown. Loot 5 or more gold piles during the scenario. Kill a monster not adjacent to you while you are adjacent to another monster. I think looting. Perform 2 actions with the burn icons before your first rest. I could do that. It's got movement 2, movement 3. 2, 3. This guy's movement 2. Not gonna be able to kill something or move next to something and kill something because it's 1, 2, 3. Oh shit, they got range. No. Attack. Long rest. Just need to move. Shit. I only have 3 HP. It's not bad. Skip the push. Attack this guy. Shit. Damn. It sucks that I have to use the cards just to fucking move. Jesus Christ, dude. It's not good. You can't do shit. do? What the fuck was I supposed to do? That's like, they don't give you that much of a deck to work with. I don't... Man, that's hard. So I guess it's one of those games where you just gotta keep losing just to progress. Kinda seems that way, huh? Save. House rules. Might have to consider playing on easy mode. It's pretty tough. Sometimes it's kind of late. Yeah, gonna have to go to sleep. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna leave it at that. It's an interesting game. Really difficult. It seems like you have to really upgrade your characters quite a bit just to get stronger, or like to progress. Still pretty interesting. Alright then, thank you for watching. Later.